Carlo, Andrew and Joe from Sooshimango join us now. Ciao, fellas.
Ciao. Ciao.
Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon.
buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Great to have you here on the show. Congratulations on all the incredible success you guys have achieved over the years. Now, I want to start by asking each of you to tell me the exact moment you knew Sooshimango was going to be something big.
When I was born, when I came out, I said to the nurse, Sooshimango is going to be huge.
Yeah.
All right, and then she slapped me in the ass and put me back in.
Put you back in.
Correct. Shoved me straight back in.
Mm-hmm.
Look, honestly, I think 2019 was really when I thought, oh, this thing could start to get some legs. We did our own shows. We put on, I think, 6 shows in Melbourne, and then we ended up doing 14 shows in Melbourne. And same, we put on 1 show in Adelaide. We ended up doing 4 shows in Adelaide. So that year, I was like, oh wow, there's people watching and listening and gaining traction here and making a bit of noise. And then, you know, the arena was is another time where I was just like, okay, I think we might be on something here.
Yeah, we might be doing it right.
Yeah.
Probably, for me, it was probably the year before the first tour, like a standalone tour.
Yeah.
We toured with Nick Giannopoulos and Mary Kustis, you know, Effie and
Wild Boy.
the Wild Boy, and we were holding our own against them on stage, and that's when I was like, okay, I think we're keeping up with the big boys here. We've got something, and the laughter that we were getting was huge. And I was like, okay, we're here, you know.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Now, brothers Carlo and Joe, who do you think was the funniest growing up in the family household?
Come on, that's just
Me.
you can't even ask
Definitely
that question.
me.
There's
More
not even an answer.
more sharper,
the older
just more
one,
witty.
because I was
funny. I
He's a
wasn't
bit
even
more of a
a
dumb
No, I
funny.
understand.
Like his people
Not would
look
actually
stupid.
talk to
Not even
him.
related. I'm
Because I didn't like
well,
him.
so people
People would
laugh
stay
at
away
him.
from him because he was always
But
funny.
me,
Yeah,
me,
it's
I
funny.
was just
Yeah.
really
What about
switched
Andrew?
off.
When did Andrew come in?
Oh, he-
Scott and kicks. I came into the mix, I don't know, video 4 or 5 in 2015. They'd done a couple of videos before. I reached out to Carl on the page.
Yeah.
He said it reminded me of the old days. So Joe and I were very, very good friends. Carl a couple of years younger, so you know, when you're younger, the age difference is more significant. And Joe and I used to sit in their bedroom in front of a tape recorder. And you know, you're probably a bit too young to know this, but your dad would know. You press record and play at the same time, and you start taping yourself. And we'd do silly skits and silly commercials and things back in the day, and Carlo would be pissing himself laughing. So we were tight, and it was all these years later we came back together, and here we are. I got a little bit long-winded there, but I messaged Carl.
Yeah.
Said I'd like to be a part of it.
And letting him in, because now we have to split the cash 3 ways. So
But when I messaged Carl, I said, it reminds me of old times. How do I get in on this?
Yeah.
Bit of a tongue-in-cheek comment. He responded, I don't know, the day later or something.
I
He
just said, mate, come in, let's have it, because I used to
do
laugh so much at it. And
Yeah. Now, I want to take you guys back to 2015, to one of your first ever comedy skits, to most recent in 2024. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. Italians versus Greeks, that's the first video I watched.
Yep.
270,000 views. Mothers on Christmas Day, over 100 million views. And you've amassed a global audience of over 1 billion views.
So his
Which
eyes
country
twitching over there.
is-
well, no. I know where you're going. It's the viewership has increased.
yeah.
But the thing, the Italians versus Greek was the first. We had over 1 million. Well, what do you look at? You're looking at
Instagram.
Instagram. All right. So in Facebook,
Facebook,
we had
a bit
a
more.
couple million or whatever.
Yeah.
But the last one you're talking about has had over 140 million now.
Which one?
145.
The mothers.
Mums on Christmas.
So 145 million on
Yeah.
Instagram, over 100 million on TikTok.
Can I just add?
Another, 50 million on Facebook?
About that, I
I gotta add.
YouTube has
It's had 22 billion views all up
So
So
everywhere in the world.
what I'll add is,
Seven
that's
views
not including the reposts.
YouTube.
Aha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, people reposting.
No, like, so I've reposted it a few times and it gets a 50 million, another 80 million, you know. So that piece of content would easily have 300 million views on it, which is crazy, man. Like, which is crazy.
And not one word spoken. It's just all gibberish. The whole thing is.
So everyone's shouting at each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's crazy, but you know, it's just you never think you could reach that many people. You know,
Not at all.
it's crazy.
Which country has surprised you the most with their reaction?
You're the stats. Oh, you
The country that surprised the most, probably like African countries, when it gets to like Nigeria and Uganda and stuff like that. And you know, we've got a lot of fans in South Africa, but there's a lot of Europeans in South Africa, Maltese, Italians, Greeks. But like when it's, you know, like Nigerian people saying this is exactly like us, it's like whoa.
Wow. You
Which
connect
is,
with that,
you know, which is it's a testament to the fact that we're all similar. If you got beaten as a kid with a shoe, you can relate to the content. You know, it doesn't matter what part of the world, whether it's India, China, whatever. You know,
even America.
Oh,
like African American people are like, you know, this is my. I grew up like this.
Mexicans, Filipinos,
Colombians.
The messages we got for that video from all over the world, Sweden, Argentina, Philippines, like everywhere, India, all over the place. Like,
we have a lot of fans in Italy and France.
Yeah.
And what's that place in Poland?
Warsaw. Yes.
Hey, you know, it was funny because at one point we had more followers. We had more followers in Warsaw than we did in Brisbane.
Yeah.
It's no longer the case now, but at one point it was.
It's funny.
The one that surprises me is actually
Budapest.
Iceland.
We've got a couple of messages for Iceland. Like,
We've got this percentage of people that are in Iceland that are crazy fans. It's like, Iceland? Wow, that's crazy.
Now, I'm curious as to how you make your characters so authentic. Could you give us the 4-on-1 on how you collab and bring a video together from ideation phase to production?
Well,
that's a good question.
Let's start out. Look, I've got the phone here, right? I'll just look at some of the ideas. I've never done this before, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a sneak peek. So we'll look at. I've got a thing here that says vid ideas.
Oh, so you've got like on your notes, you've got.
Just if ethnic mums and tin food. Like, you know, ethnic parents how ethnic parents treat their son versus daughters.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll get that, and then we'll take it to the lab at the house. We've got a house in Avondale, which is a very heavily ethnic area. And we'll go, how do you want to do it? How do you want to shoot this? And we're just like, maybe we can be like that, like this, like that. And then an idea will just start one way and then end up a complete other. You know, so we just, it's a lot of the vids we do is improv. Like we don't plan them, pre-plan or plan the shots. We plan it on the day.
Rarely ever plan anything.
Like, no, get me on this angle and then shoot up or whatever. But different to our shows, obviously, shows is fully scripted and blocked out and everything like that. But it's more of a, you know, a bit of a sort of free ball type of.
Yeah. Is there a video that's never made it on screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
You'd have
The
a few,
very
right?
first ethnic dads video never made it on.
The one where the characters took off the ethnic dads, when we created the very first one we shot of that, we tried to whip up in the wrong environment, like in the wrong, at my old factory. So it wasn't in a house, we didn't have the right costumes, and we shelved it for weeks, maybe a couple of months.
A couple of weeks, I think, we shelved it.
Because when we look back, we went, they're all wrong. My character looked like a Mexican cartel guy, and it was all wrong. Everything was wrong.
I had a Don King wig
Don King wig on. I had this wig. It was a Dracula wig that was hanging, and I was wearing some sort of zip polo top or.
It just wasn't right, so we shelved it, and that's you got it somewhere.
He's got it. Lucky we did though. If we had, because it would have, we were like, should we just release it? And we're like, oh, yeah, no, it's too bad. We can't. But this close, if we had have released that, the ethnic dads, as we know it, would never have.
Wouldn't be a thing.
And that's all the other characters.
Yeah.
Mums, the Greeks, no one would have been.
Because it probably would have flopped the vid. So it would have flopped and we go, oh, well, on to the next idea. Who knows what we would have.
I know.
Like, I don't know. We might not
Who knows what would
been
have
here.
happened.
People might not even been.
It might have been better than we are.
Yeah.
Now, your comedy is so relatable to many. Who's the auntie, uncle, or parent that you get the most comedy from?
Well, I mean, look, we always say we sort of accumulate from all different aunties, uncles, compare, family, friends, whatever. We do have one auntie that is loosely based. Camela's
I
loosely
reckon
based off.
we pickpocket our nonna and our auntie Graziella. The two. That's what I can see the most when we reenact. You're straight. Your auntie's like even your mum, and when he acts as his
my
mum.
aunties,
And probably
mostly.
dad.
Mum a little bit, and dad, and I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one. They're a combination of everyone. I think growing up,
Bit of everyone.
Then they just grow their own personality and become their own person. It's like, oh shit! It's like when you're in character, you start thinking like that person, or he's got his own way of moving and thinking and talking, and they become their own. You know, their own
so
person.
weird. Put the costume on and you start walking differently. And you can't help but walk a certain way when you're in, like, as soon as you put the mums on, everyone, we're all a little bit more hunched over and we're kind of doing the penguin walk. And, you know, put the dad's on, you're walking a bit more upright, hands on stomach, you know. It's just, you just morph into the character. So, yeah.
And when you first started out, I imagine you were wearing all the hats, acting, producing, writing, editing. Do you each have a favourite role to contribute?
A favourite role?
Favourite role, yeah.
In like with what we do?
Yeah.
A favourite one?
Just mine's performing.
Yeah,
Performing?
Probably,
You know, the writing is a little bit sometimes pulling teeth because we try and make things better every single time.
Yep.
And we still wear all the hats, you know.
Yeah.
So we still produce all the shows, we still write all the shows, we still block everything and direct it all for the shows. Same with the videos, you know.
Yes.
For me,
it's a performing. I think.
For me, it's a performance. On one level, it's a performance because you get that direct engagement and that direct feedback. But when we crack a really good vid, then it's exciting because you know it's getting out to the rest of the world. Like when you perform, it's one audience at a time, which is the best feeling ever. But when you crack like that mud, like that vid, that was special because everyone in the world is seeing this. It's pretty cool
crazy,
too. You know?
It's crazy though when you think about it, because like we do a video that's got 7 million views, and we now say, oh, it's only got 7 million views, you know, on Instagram or something. But then if you think about 7 million people, how many people that is, it's a lot. But
Also, TV shows get like viewerships of 100,000,
800,000.
but that's a good show.
700,000.
That's a good TV show.
True, when you think about it.
If a show's getting 800,000 viewers, it's like top-rated show.
Yeah.
And to think that you can have something with 20 million, 25, 30 million views, people eyeballs on it, it's like, wow, it's the power of social media these days. You know, everyone's
Connect with everyone around the world.
Yeah, you can connect with a huge audience.
Now, you're one of our most famous comedy kings going around. What's the most talked about comedy sketch that your fans remind you, either on the street or online?
Well, the current one is the bath one. We just it goes in waves.
Brilliant.
It goes in waves. Like it's like anything. You know, the most current people will talk about. You know, but one that seems to. Would you guys agree? One that seems to keep is the shoe one, the throwing the shoe,
The
flying shoe, the flying slipper. That one keeps popping up a lot.
And the concrete vid, people talk about.
Yeah,
the mums one obviously.
The mums one.
Obviously Christmas Day. That's. But then right. The colour's right. The bath one at the moment is hot because that was the one that went out. And then the chairs. You know, if you saw that one, we're sleeping on the 2 chairs.
Yes, it's that.
Because these are all things that we grew up on. You know, we all grew up on. So I think when people see it,
It's relatable.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, it's 100%.
We're not the creators of sleeping on 2 chairs or throwing a slipper or anything like that. We just grew up around it and reenact it, as do other comedians. And it's your interpretation of how you grew up, you know. And there's young influencer type people coming up now that are doing opening up the ice cream container and seeing breadcrumbs in it, or you know, instead of ice cream and stuff like that.
Biscuits with a sewing kit and all that.
No, no one owns this stuff. It's how you interpret it, and if it's good, people will engage with it. If it's not so good, people won't engage with it. You know?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And your Australian tour kicks off in August this year. It's called Homemade Encore 2025. Andrew, Joe and Carlo. Can't wait to see what's ahead for you guys. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks
very much.
Thank you much. It's an absolute pleasure, and rhythm is a dancer.
Can't wait, actually. It's exciting because we're going back to the Thebby.
We are Thebby Theatre, October 4th in Adelaide. 2 shows.
We just added one today, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
exciting.
There you go.
So,
There we go.
There you go.
Get your tickets now. Sooshimango. Should we do a pull you bastard? Just as an answer.
1, 2, 3.
Pull you bastard!
That's it.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate.